right, the next section in Chapter 8 is one that makes me very sad to even have to talk about, but it is in the public school system. It's in our community, so we're going to have to talk about it. May even be in your family, I don't know. Chapter 8, page 205, child abuse. Child abuse is reported annually from more than 3 million children. So sad. More than 84 children per hour. 84 children per hour are treated in emergency rooms as victims of abuse. That is in our communities. It's happening. 1 in every 109 children is the victim of abuse, with almost 4 in 5 victims of abuse suffering from neglect, which means the child is not being provided with his or her basic needs by parents, caretakers, or relatives. Cannot imagine. I just cannot imagine that. Females are slightly more likely to be victims. I'm not sure why. There was no research of why that is, but per the information documented with cases, it tends to be females. The abusers usually are family members, intimate partners, friends, and acquaintances. Children and young people who are abused or neglected may arrive at school hungry. So if they're coming in, I remember Tim coming in, and he would sit at the cafeteria. He'd been there the whole morning, and as kids were sitting down eating, if they didn't eat all their biscuit, he would say, "Are you going to eat all that biscuit?" And they would be like, "I've already eaten part of it." And he says, "That's okay, I don't care," he'd say. And he would just couldn't get enough food. I've seen him put it in his pocket even, saving it up. So they're going to come to school hungry, bruised, and depressed. And you can imagine why they're coming depressed. They may arrive early at school and seem to have little desire to leave the safety of the school. The warmth, the safety, the love they feel there. They don't want to go home, because once they go home, there may not be anybody there who could even care if they came in the door or even know where they're in the door. These children, like all others, need teachers who are caring, retain high expectations for them, and can provide hope for the future. Because if you don't help them be successful, they're going to be just like their parents and grow up in that same type atmosphere. And we want more for them. We want them to be able to be contributors to society. Bruises, burns, broken bones, depression, withdrawal, extreme thinness, and nervousness that appears more often than one should expect may be signs of abuse. Educators should not investigate causes that they think may be abuse. They should instead report them as required by law. So you should not be the one going out to the house to see if it's happening. You should not be the one doing the interrogation. You should not be one pointing the finger at the parent. That's not your job. You report it to who needs to be reported to, and let them do that part of it. Not reporting could lead to fines and/or prison terms. You can also have your license pulled. If you have any suspicion at all that there's something not right at home with a student, please note. I'd rather be on the side of caution and report it, and there be nothing wrong, as to put blinders on and act like it's not happening. We've got to save these children. We've got to reach out. By saving the children, we're saving our communities. So please, if you see any or have any suspicion whatsoever, and I have had cases where my students have come in bruised, broken bones, and very nervous to talk about what happened, and it would be happening quite often. I had a student who DHS came out because the neighbors, he was in 5th grade, and the neighbors was suspicious that he was on cocaine, doing cocaine. They came to school and asked me, how was he in school, and I had to be honest. He got pulled from the family for a little while till they got it straightened up. I've had students come in that I suspected were around meth, just by indications, especially around the mouth area, that let me know that they're probably, if they're not on it, someone in their household is, and the vapors and whatever. So please report anything that you find suspicious. It's usually to your guidance counselor in the building. The guidance counselor should then report it to Department of Human Services, and let's go from there. Do not leave this untouched. I think the worst thing that I could ever think of is knowing a child was being abused, and the thoughts that I hadn't done anything about it. So please, anytime that there's a suspicion, let it be known, and hope that you're wrong, but you better play it on the side of safety.